when we come back, what if I told you that the $2 billion immigration fix probably won't fix anything?
If I break the law, you're going to come down on me real quick. And yet, you are not following the law. You are breaking the law.
Go back! Yeah! Go back to where you're from! Go back!
Don't belong here.
Go back!
We are a nation of American citizens. USA! USA!
Turning back the bus, some California residents doing just that with the government busing illegal immigrants into their town without even giving them a heads up. The White House wants an emergency $2 billion to deal with this kind of problem. But Charles, didn't they actually create the problem?
Yeah, I mean, they put out the for welcome sign. If you look in Central America in particular, there's this notion out there that somehow, I don't know how they got it, wink, wink, that right now is the best time to come. There was a poll that said 95% of people in Central America think if you make it to America this year, you're going to be amnesty, that you will be able to become a citizen. So now the rush.
Now the rush.
They get this from the White House. I mean, this is all. Listen, you want to just be firm, tell people they can't come here, they won't be citizens, they'll be in trouble, they'll be turned away. Come out and say it.
I've tried to get to the bottom of where the $2 billion is coming from. Forget we don't have the money, Charles Gasparino. But I thought it was going to be for border enforcement. It's actually not. It would be largely, I guess, to get more buses.
You get more buses and for health. And listen, I'm pro-immigrant. I come from a family of immigrants. I will say this.
Well, we're all pro-immigrant. You're pro-legal. Right?
Yes, and the Mexican Americans I know that work in New York City, the hardest working people I know. They're great people, family
these
people.
Really aren't even Mexicans for the most part.
Well,
there's Central American people who come to Mexico. And Mexico's like, you can't stay here.
I'm not going to delineate. I'm just telling you that the South Americans that I know, are really hard-working people. That said, you can't. Here's the question. You can't have open borders and a welfare state. Now, not some nutty right-wing lunatic said that, but Milton Friedman said that, who's a libertarian economist. The reality of what we have here is a welfare state in the U.S.
Look, you know what, guys?
And when you start busing in poor people, you're going to have to take care of it.
I grew up in Texas and Arizona. These are the two states, and along with California, that are dealing with these issues. And I will tell you, I agree with Charlie, and you have some incredibly hardworking families. You also have some big difficulties that cause Americans, legal Americans, troubles. I'm talking about housing and health and things. But going back to this $2 billion here, I mean, exactly where's that going to go? 40% of the security agents that are down there right now, 40% of their time is going to babysitting. And now we're going to spend $2 billion on facilities. That means we're not going to get any extra agents out of this, Adam. And correct me if I'm wrong, but where's the extra support? I mean, you asked Jan Brewer, and I've interviewed her. She feels completely abandoned by this president. She stuck his finger in his face.
You're talking about the Arizona Governor Jan Brewer.
Arizona Governor Jan Brewer. And now we're supposed to give another $2 billion to a problem that, yes, it's legal now, but Obama already said he's going to change it.
But Adam, to fine-tune that point, and here's, I'm interested in getting your thoughts on this. Don't you think the president really politically wanted to corner Republicans on this, that if they were to reject that $2 billion offer, he had to fix this? Even though we looked into this, it's not quite what it appears. They look, once again, like they're, against minorities or against immigrants, to draw the distinction. Yeah. No, it's illegal immigrants.
Yeah. On this tactical thing of the $2 billion, sure, anything could be construed as trying to embarrass the Republicans, and yes, but that's ignoring the fact.
I don't think it's a leap to construe it. It is.
Well, but because President Obama and President Bush before him have been trying for years to get the Republicans to go along with comprehensive immigration reform. Remember, President Bush failed to get the Republicans
to go along with immigration reform. Because they put the cart before the horse all the time. They want to let the people in without doing the border enforcement.
What do you think is going here, Adam? What do you think is going here?
The money is to first of all house these people safely and to send them back. And the president has said out loud,
"But we don't
will send you back."
Adam, that's the thing. We don't send them back.
People.
The bus loads of them were coming into Phoenix at 115-degree heat, and they're getting them dumped off, and no one's even watching them. They just sort of spread out all over.
There is an economic.
So my point is, Adam, I guess what I want to know: what are we doing with this money? We're not going into border enforcement with it. So what are we paying for? More buses, more transports? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because we could. The part of the money is to address this concern that you have, Neil.
No,
we're going to send them back.
We're putting people in buses, albeit air-conditioned ones, I guess, doesn't solve the problem. They're still here.
Sending the message to people in Central America that if you come here, we'll going to send you back.
Put you in an air-conditioned bus.
Oh, yeah, because we're humane people. And by the way, I just want to say it's a sad day when we have these ugly protests and we say, this is what America is. We're going to be hateful to you
Adam, be
because
careful.
you're in a bad
These
situation.
people who are annoyed, and don't make them sound like racists here.
Because they're not.
This was not telegraphed to them. They had no advance warning. All of a sudden, they're responsible for thousands of illegals in their community. No one gave them a heads up, and they're surprised and they're pissed off.
These people were going to be detained. I understand that they were pissed off, but to go shouting,
Adam,
USA,
if this
USA
were to be
is not the
dumped
way
in
to deal
your
with that.
community, I think you, as a good meaning liberal as you are, I think you'd have a change of heart fast.
You know, Neil, I have this argument with people on the Wall Street Journal editorial page all the time. They tell me, you know, immigrants add to the economy. They help productivity.
Yes, they do. Legal immigrants do a great deal.
But this is what I said. Are you telling me the people in Arizona and Texas are just all racist? That they're just operating totally out of racism? They don't see their hospitals overflowed. They don't see school systems impaired. They don't see real issues with integrating that many poor people all at once in this country.
They see 25 people living in one home because they're sending all of the money back to Mexico.
It's horrible.
And it ends up being crime-ridden and destroying communities in Arizona, because I'm from there and I've seen it happen, and it's no more. No more. This has
to protect its borders. Every country, including America.
But it's always portrayed as you're a bigot.
As racist,
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that pat down. You're about to pay more for the pleasure. Gaspo, you listening?